All right, guys, this is the last lesson in our unit, meaning it's a yellow lesson and it's problem solving. So we're focusing more on reading and figuring out what it's asking us to do. So there's a lot of reading comprehension that's happening here. So if you look at number 1, it says a board is cut into 12 equal pieces. How many pieces together represent 3/4 of the board? Explain how you arrived at your answer. We know that explaining means showing your work. So what I would do here is I would take these pieces and I would draw them out here. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there's my 12 pieces. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut them in half first, because half of a fraction is always the best place to start. So I've got 6 on this side and 6 on this side. If I were to turn this into a number line, and this is my half point, then half of this would be where I do my 1/4. So half of 6 is 3. So this would be 1/4. This is 1/2. And then this right here would be 3/4. The question was asking how many pieces represent 3/4. Well, if this is the 3/4 line, then I've gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I have made 9 pieces is 3/4 of the board. Make sense? You turn the picture into a number line, that can help you out. There are other ways I could have done this as well, but to me, this is what makes the most sense in terms of with how we've been learning how to do this with number lines and with our fractions and what we know. So if we look at number 4 down here, Devin and Amanda knit the same size scarf. Devin's scarf is 3/5 yellow. Amanda's scarf is 3/4 yellow. How can you use a picture to show whose scarf is more yellow? This is a little bit tricky because it's asking you to use a picture. And 5 and 4 are very close to each other. And I have to draw something that's the same size. So if I made one scarf, let's say, if I made that one exactly 5, and it was divided into 5. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 3 parts of that is yellow. So here's, let's say it's purple. So I can see it's a little more than half, because like right there is the halfway point. So it's a little bit more than half. Now let me do the other one. The other one was 3/4. So I'm still going to draw the same size. But this time I need to figure out, here's my half point again. So if this is the half point, then I should have 2 on this side and 2 on this side. So here's 2 and here's 2. Not quite exact, but you know what? It's fine. And that was 3/4. So 1, 2, 3. Now this is way more than half. This was just like a little bit more. And it's still really hard to tell. But when I do it this way, I can see that I've only got 1 piece left over here where I have 2 pieces left over here. This is just a tiny little bit more. So you do have to be kind of precise in marking the same half point and making sure that the scarves are the same size. So you have to really visualize even pieces apart here. Let's do one more. The school newspaper has a total of 18 articles and ads, okay? A total of 18. There are 6 more articles than ads. How many articles and ads are there? Okay, so I have to do 6 more that equals 18. So blank plus a blank is going to equal the 18 in all. And this number here is going to have to be 6 more. So this plus 6 will equal that. That equals 18. So I'm going to have to figure out how to separate this out. And I'm thinking, okay, well, 18, if this is supposed to be 2 parts, and this is supposed to be 1 part, because this is supposed to be 6 more than that, perhaps if I were to divide 18 into 3 parts, I would have that 6. And if this is 6 plus 6, and this is 6 more than that, 6 plus 6 is 12. And 12 plus 6 is 18. So if there are 12 articles and 6 ads, I would say that 6 plus 12 is 18. 12 is double 6, so I'm still following that rule of 6 plus 6 is 12. So again, I'm having to sort of visualize and break things down. It's not that the math part itself is hard. It's figuring out what it's asking me to do and solving it to that way. Because there are other ways I could have done this, but it needs to be done specific with, like, when you're talking about fractions and other things like that. So be aware of that. On your own, here's what you're doing. You're going to finish 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And then you can go on to your daily Common Core. This has a little bit more to it. Make sure you're reading these carefully, please. On the back, you're writing fractions in order from greatest to least, and then least to greatest. So please make sure that you focus greatest to least, least to greatest. You'll be solving these problems down here as well. Take your time. When you're done with this, and you've done all the book work, you can then move on to the enrichment. You're using this shape here in all, which is called trapezoid X, and you're talking about the fractions. Now, pay attention to how this is shaped compared to how this is shaped. What fraction of trapezoid X is square C? It is not 1/3. My clue to you is pay very close attention to this shape and see if you can find and maybe create that shape into other parts. Perhaps like that. That's the only tip I'm going to give you, okay? Once you figure that out, you're going to fly through this, okay? When you're done with all that, you do Binder Games and then IXL. Sound good? Get to it.